Welcome to AH Tutorials, where we show you how to work on cars. Today we're going to be working on a wiper switch and a headlight switch for a 2006 to 2011 Honda Civic. So let's get to it. For this, we're going to be using some pretty common household tools. First, we're going to be using a flat screwdriver, and then after that we're going to be using a Phillips screwdriver. And you're going to want to make sure it's a little lengthy because we're going to have some deep screws to take out. So the part we're going to be working on is switches right here. These two switches. This is the headlight switch, and this one over here is the wiper switch. And before we can get to this, we got to take off this bezel right here. And the way we're going to take this off is there's a couple screws underneath. And the best way we're going to get to this is if we pull down the lever, and we're going to pull the steering wheel as far out as possible. And we can just push that lever back up, and we can go ahead and start taking out the screws. And the last screw is going to be down here, and we're just going to get this now. Now, to make this easier to take off, you can see now it's wiggling. We're going to want to pull down the lever so we can slide it through this hole right here. And the way we're going to take this off is we're going to take our flat screwdriver, and we're actually going to wedge it between this crack right here. And when you do that, you're clipping them out, and it's coming loose now. Disconnecting them, and also from this side. You can see now we've broken both pieces together, and I can take them apart, and that's going to reveal the headlight switch and the wiper switch on the sides. And right here for the headlight switch, there's going to be two screws. And if you have to, move your steering wheel so that you can reveal both the screws. And we're just going to go ahead and take these out with the Phillips screwdriver. Now you can see it's just going to slide out, and that's how this comes off. And once you take it off, there's going to be a plug right here, and you're going to want to take this plug out by pushing down on the tab right here. And once you push down on this tab, you can pull up on the plug, and then it will just come out. And that's how you take out the headlight switch. And for the wiper switch, it's pretty much the same exact thing. And we're going to move the steering wheel. We're going to move the steering wheel so that we can see the screws on this side as well. You can see this one comes out the same way as well. It's just going to slide out, and there's going to be a plug right here, and pushing down on this tab you can just take out the plug. Now we can just put it all back together. If you have your new one, put it back, and I'm just going to start with the plug, making sure the plug goes in first, and it's just going to clip in. And you can see that it has a sliding part in it, and it's going to go through this groove right here, and we're going to want to make sure that it slides through here nicely so that we can just screw it back on. After that checks out, we want to make sure that the holes line up with the switch itself, and now we can thread the screws back in. And it's going to be the exact same thing for the window switch, for the headlight switch as well. And that plug is just going to snap in. And again, we're going to want to make sure the sliding strip is going to go into the groove. And we're going to turn the steering wheel again so that we can reach the screws. And it's going to make it easier for us to put it back in. Now after all that, we can put the plastic pieces back on, plastic covers. And we're just going to slide the top part in first and make sure it goes on there nicely. You can see how it has a U right here, or like an N, and it's just going to slide onto the circle part of the headlight switch. And it's going to be the same thing on the other side as well. And then we can finally put this piece back on, and the way we're going to do this is this hole right here. We're going to want to make sure that it goes through this lever, and make sure the lever goes through the hole, and we can just slide it nicely. And you're just going to want to push it back together and make sure it clips in. And now that that checks out, we can put all the screws back together. And we can just screw these in. That should be the last screw. Everything should look nice. You just replace your headlight switch and your wiper switch. That's how you do it. Thanks for watching.